Dr. Brian Van Horn is the Dean of Continuing Education, and that means he is over all of the regional campuses, which includes the Paducah Regional Campus. I am an adjunct in the JMC department, and I teach 2 classes at the Paducah Regional Campus. So I spent my day shadowing Dr. Van Horn here at the Paducah Regional Campus. Dr. Van Horn is the son of a World War II veteran and is a first-generation college graduate. He played baseball at SIU Carbondale before transferring to Murray State University. He was the SGA president and a member of Pi Kappa Alpha fraternity. He later got his master's degree in public administration and then obtained his doctoral degree from the University of Memphis.
Districts, having had that teaching and assistant principal type of relationship there in Memphis, it made me eligible and qualified to be a school superintendent. And I'd taken all of the national tests for about 3 different states in that area, and had licensure to do that in about 3 different states. The time I started at Murray State in the fall of 1998, I actually had interviewed for 3 jobs, 2 of which were in Southern Illinois, where I grew up, as school superintendent jobs. And then one is the director of our new regional campus here in Paducah. And the regional campus job was offered to me, I'm going to say on a Monday, and about on a Wednesday, both of the superintendent's jobs got offered to me after I'd accepted the Murray State job. And I'm so thankful that I did what I did. And that's defined simply by age, 25 years of age and older. And Stephanie, not picking on you, but you're a non-traditional student. I was a non-traditional student for part of my experience. But that's been a real enlightening experience, and one that I've really embraced. So many of our young people now that are 20 years old, I met with a young lady yesterday on campus, very active in campus, and I said, "Do you work?" And she said, "Yes." And I said, and I always worked. I worked every year I ever went to school, including when I was an athlete. I had to. And so I said, "Well, do you work one job?" And she said, "Yes." And I said, but she smiled. And I said, "Do you work 2 jobs?" And she said, "Yes." And she smiled again. I said, "Do you work 3 jobs?" She said, "I work 3 part-time jobs to get through college." So more of our students are non-traditional than their age indicates. That percentage is far greater than probably what the actual signifies by the age requirement of 25 years of age. Love what I do because they're growing, and more of us are required by statute to come back and further our education.
So you were talking earlier about you were serving on different boards in Paducah, and so what are some of those responsibilities that you've had?
I always say I'm kind of a melting pot of higher education, because my job is I'm not the College of Business Dean, where I deal with all of the different degrees that surround business, or the College of Education Dean, where I deal with most of the all the different degrees that surround education. My job is really very eclectic, and so I serve on like the Paducah Chamber of Commerce Board, and I have for almost 17 years, and the Paducah Economic Development Board, the West Kentucky, which is a varied county, a huge county, Workforce Investment Board. When people are displaced from their jobs like USEC, there are federal monies available for them to go back to school and study and retrain. I've served on just so many different boards. I won't bore you with all of them, probably as many as 15 or 20 across Western Kentucky for about 17 years, or there are parts of that. That's really essential, because Murray State is really the economic engine of the 18 county service region it serves. And when I say the economic engine, we're producing college graduates like yourself and your colleagues that go out and start businesses, develop things, and really move the economy forward. We also are tasked with training the workforce. In our 18 county service region, mortality exceeds graduation. We're getting older. So if mortality exceeds graduation, how are we going to replace the workforce for the area? And so really what I do surrounds that. A couple of neat things that I also do and I love, the ROTC unit is under me, military unit. The Training Resources Center, which deals with foster and adoptive parents throughout the state of Kentucky. We train hundreds and thousands of people a year through that unit. It's a grant. The transfer center is under us. Many people do not realize Murray State has a community college. It's been under our direction for many, many years. And that community college is primarily, in the past, has dealt only with students with developmental type coursework. Your state legislators, and we have a bunch of good ones in our 18 county service region that are supportive of what we do. But you have to apprise them of what's going on at the university, what our needs are, where we need help, what they can do. And then we also deal with, obviously, the county judges in the 18 county service region, the mayors, and it just kind of goes on and on. So it really is very different. I'm kind of the center of the regional outreach for the university, both in academic terms of academic and in terms of somewhat policy. I help the president on a daily basis, see what's going on in the region and figure out what our needs are in the region. I think this regional campus is it, because I was the one that was hired first as the regional campus director here, then the assistant dean, and then went on the dean. At the time I was hired, Murray State and Paducah, in particular PCC at that time, Paducah Community College, now West Kentucky Community Technical College, had really had a major disagreement over the engineering school that's located across the street. And when I say major disagreement, that's way understating it. They had a very large disagreement. So Murray State was not very well liked or respected in Paducah when I started here. And I started becoming involved in the community and getting to know people. And that was really key to us developing a relationship with the city leaders here. And the second thing, we've really done good work. We've made sure we had quality programs, we have great instructors, and we treat students exceptionally well, which goes a long way to gaining people's trust. So this building was built with myself, the mayor, the county judge Van Newberry, the mayor of Paducah at the time, and several county leaders in terms of magistrates and city commissioners, county commissioners, those type of individuals. We went and visited a couple of regional campuses. And it had become apparent, we'd asked the state for funding for many years, it became apparent that if we waited for state funding, it was going to be a long time. So we developed a plan in which, and we started talking then with Van Newberry in particular. Van deserves a lot of credit for this building because the county and his commission, the county funded this building. Obviously Paducah helps pay for part of that, but the bonding came through the county commission. So they sold bonds to borrow the money to actually complete this facility. And I'm exceptionally proud of that because we did it under budget, not on budget, we did it under budget. We got everything, we actually had more money appropriated to change the roof angle from Murray State. We didn't end up having to use that. We did everything. Kim Oatman, which is a former facilities manager at the university, and myself, we spent countless hours and really made sure that the people of this county and the city and Paducah Economic Development Council got their money's worth, because it really is a city venture and a county venture of great cooperation, quite honestly. I'm super proud because we've accomplished everything we hoped to accomplish, and we've done it in about 18 years shorter than what we thought we might. We hit our goals the first year. Wow. And we have to do that for 4 consecutive years, at which time then the building is essentially, in essence, donated to Murray State University if we hit our goals. Okay. It's written up in a memorandum of understanding, an MOU between us and McCracken County, and it explains how we get ownership of the building, and you have to hit a certain enrollment goal every year for 4 years, and we thought it'd take us about 6 years to hit it the first time. We hit it the first year. And I think that one of the challenges, and we've done a really nice job, if I do say so, over the last 7 to 10 years of changing this, is just get more and more and more of our degree programs that are at Murray to be offered to the regional campuses. You don't get the masses when you do that. We've got a lot of the degree programs that hold the masses at this point, whether it's education or social work or integrated studies or business administration. We've got those type of degrees. But I think it's going to be getting more specific type of degrees off campus to where you'll have 2, 3, 4 people at different locations that will take it. That's where the ITV classrooms will really help us. It'll make that available and possible.
So do you see staff from Murray teaching from Murray using the ITV, or do you see them come into the regional campuses?
It goes both ways. It really does. And let me use you as an example. You teach some adjunct classes for us, and you live in Calvert City, Kentucky. Well, Paducah's actually closer from you than it is in Murray. But you could go to either one. It's not a big enough difference. But say you live in Hopkinsville, where Dr. Wilson taught for many years and was an administrator. If you live in Hopkinsville, it's a lot easier for you to just teach it from the regional campus back to Murray, because the Murray State gets the same classes if it's taught in Hopkinsville as does Hopkinsville. That classroom will go to Murray, it'll go to Henderson, to Paducah, and to Madisonville. Now, the majority of our instruction is done by full-time instructors, not adjuncts. And primarily, so most of our classes do originate in Murray, but it really matters not. We have the same availability at all the regional campuses. It's a great venue. It's a very sophisticated type of Skype, for lack of a better description. If you haven't had a class, it's a very sophisticated type of Skype. And it's, in my opinion, never going to be as good in a lot of cases as walking into a classroom, but you can't walk into a classroom in Henderson and teach 3 students. Whereas ITV allows you to do that with the other locations.
Right.
You know, I'm a firm believer that good leaders have a couple of traits in common. First, you're never going to maximize what you want to accomplish unless you hire good, competent people. And then I'm a firm believer that when you hire good, competent people, you give them very clear and concise goals. You tell them exactly what you expect, and then you let them do their job. Because you and I are different people, and we're going to get to the same end result, but we may do it very differently in the way in which we get there. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's called personality. We each have a different one, and that's a good thing for the world. Having said that, I don't work effectively under micromanagement, nor do I want to lead people in that direction. I hold my people very accountable. If we say you got to have 375 enrollments, you got to have 375 enrollments. But we try to establish those goals and expectations together. But I think the key to success, the larger the organization and the larger your unit, the key to success is to hire really competent people that have the values and the characteristics and the skills that you desire, and then you let them do their jobs. And it's as clear as that. I believe that. I think we'll have to be very prudent and very good with our budgets in higher education for probably the rest of my career. And I've got, potentially 20 years left, or 15 to 20 years left. And I don't foresee us ever having the real money to do a lot of different things. In saying that, I think universities will have to make tough choices. And we probably will not be able to be all things to all people anymore. There'll probably have to be choices made and cuts made. And if we do that, then you'll see more money put into programs that maybe are really providing whatever the workforce needs are of the area. So I think there's a change coming.